man, you already know what it is. Jay Williams and Azruction here with the Let's Live Life podcast. Tonight we're going to be going over something that's very controversial, something you're hearing about every day on YouTube, something that's going on every day in the media. Snitching, paperwork. 2023 seems to be the year of snitching, the year of paperwork, and headlining the whole entire thing is no other than Mr. Rubber Band Man himself, T.I, with the snitching on his dead cousin. Let's get it started. AZ, what are you, from an ex-con's perspective, from a, I would say it now, you're a citizen, right? Would you consider yourself a citizen?
I mean, yeah, of course, but you know how I go. It's still hey, I don't know, man. I don't think I could do that.
Like, where do we draw the line after you've been in the streets, and then you're reborn, you do your time, or you get away from the streets? Do you then get the right to say, hey, I'm a citizen, I can now do what citizens do, or is it once you've been a part of that lifestyle, that's just what it is from cradle to the grave?
Yeah, that's just what it is. Because, I mean, we don't let POSs reform.
Right.
You know what I mean? Once they make that list, they make that list. So why should it be any different for somebody else? You know what I mean? Yeah.
What's snitching? What's your definition of snitching? Give me your definition.
So I don't have a difference between ratting and snitching. I think it's both. I think you're trying to save your own skin no matter what. So to me, if you've been in the streets, you can't be calling the police. That's just not something that, you know what
Period.
I mean.
For nothing.
Yeah, I'm not.
No, I'm saying that's the street code, though. Like, I'll agree on that. That's the street code.
Yeah, for nothing. But I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just my personal take on it. I'm pretty strict on that. You know what I mean? I just don't deal with that. I don't have anything against cops. It's just
okay. This is where, I mean, and I hear everything you're saying, and I agree.
Yeah.
But this is where I come into the whole the streets process and the thoughts of the streets and the points I disagree on. Because 99.9% of people that have ever been in the streets or lived that type of lifestyle would say exactly what you just said, right?
Right.
Let's say, for instance, you're standing there, you're in your house, and you look out the window and you see a van pull up and snatch a child up and drive off. What are you gonna do?
Man,
does that street stay in play? Or do you call the police and say, hey, I just seen a white van that said Jim Bob soap service on the side, grab a 6-year-old and drive off? At that point there, are you snitching? Because that man is going to go to jail. When he gets caught, he's going to go to jail.
Right.
As a street guy, can you call the police and tell them you just watched a kid get kidnapped?
I mean, no, technically, no.
So you just watch a van just drive off a little kid? See, this is where I'm conflicted, because I'm not disagreeing with anything you say, but according to the streets, us being guys that were once in the streets or lived that lifestyle, we are not allowed to call the police under any circumstances.
Right.
We're not allowed to have any type of communication with the police.
Right.
So I can be a solid stand-up street dude, which if that's I don't even know if that's a thing, but I can be a stand-up guy, have lived my whole life a certain way, and I see a kid get kidnapped, and I call the police, and now my name is going to be on that paperwork, right? Because I made that phone call. Am I now a rat?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You can't do that. Look, hey, I got one of my best friends from the streets, bro. He has bad paperwork on him because the dude allegedly he was known for working with certain people there, and he would kidnap people, tie them up, all kinds of stuff in this hotel, and he's considered no good.
Hold on.
He gave a statement. I can look it up right now. You can look it up.
He gave a statement. Gave a statement on who? He was kidnapping and tying people up. Who did he give a statement on? He had to really know some bad people to tell on somebody to outdo himself, man.
No, it wasn't himself. He was just the dude sold. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I can pull up the paperwork. There's the whole statement on azlames.com.
Was he in a situation? Why did he tell?
He got caught up when the police raided that hotel while he was in there.
and he was going away, so he told on dude.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's exactly.
Oh, that's
what
right. That's right. He told.
Right. But he was his excuse is that he was trying to help him from stop him from hurting other kids and women.
See, I don't know where I
should just is what I told him.
I agree. That's I don't want the viewers to understand this. I am no longer subscribed to the streets. I asked in the beginning, can you unsubscribe from a lifestyle? I consider myself to be an everyday citizen. Am I going to call the cops on somebody if I see them committing a crime? No. If I see somebody doing something that pertains to a child, yes. I mean, I'm just being honest on my point of view. Would I call the cops if I saw somebody hurt a child? First of all, I'm going to take the law into my own hands, and I'm going to do what I have to do to to protect anybody's child, my child, your child, somebody I've never met's child. But if say said child is then taken and thrown into a van and driven off with, I'm going to be real. I am more concerned with the life of a child than I am what the streets think about me. Because at the end of the day, I live to be 40-some years old. I've never told on anybody in my life. I've never even told on myself. You know what I mean? Like, even I'm not going to tell you nothing I did. I'm going to tell you need to speak to my lawyer. That's about as far as we're going to go with it. So I'm conflicted when it comes to the street process and the street thoughts. For me, snitching is you telling on somebody with something to gain. That's what I look at snitching as, whether it be a reward, whether it be a get out of jail free pass, whether it be whatever. If you stand to gain something from telling on somebody, that's what I consider to be snitching. Now with this whole T.I thing, we're going to get into the clip in a minute. Just to bring y'all up to speed, T.I has recently come out on his show Expeditiously, and he said that he has never told on nobody in his life. Right? He goes on to say that he did tell on a cousin that was dead. He's now backtracked because him and Boosie had an album coming out that they worked on. Boosie said was some of the best material he's ever done. He's now backtracked and said that was comedy. He was joking. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this clip of T.I and his breakdown of what happened, and then we'll get into it. Let's go.
We caught no gun case. Two died. And my lawyer said, well, I can make everything go away if it was Tremel. And I had a talk with Toot.
Now he just said he had a talk with Toot. Toot is his cousin. Toot is dead. So right out the gate, what I'm getting is he's trying to make excuses for what he did. You get what I'm saying? He definitely did not have a talk with Toot. Toot is in the ground. Toot is dead. His lawyer has come to him and said, look, I can make this go away, but you're going to have to put it on somebody. Yo. So he goes and in return puts it on somebody that has since passed. Let's go.
Posthumously? Yeah. After he had passed, I had a talk with him. What you say? I take all the charges you got. If you can walk away free and put it on me, I'm right. Because I'd be damned if they gonna come and extradite me from here. They can come get me from here and serve me a warrant, they doing damn good. How about that? I just volunteered. Nobody even know.
See, and here's the thing. This is the first time he's ever spoke about this. Up until this current situation, he's always proclaimed that he never told the people nothing. He never told on nobody. But now he comes out and says that he told on his dead cousin, his big cousin, his close cousin, somebody he loves. Once somebody's dead, is telling on them. If you tell on somebody after they've died, did you just snitch? The man can't get in trouble. The man can't get locked up. Is what he just did. Is that snitching? Nobody's going to jail. Nobody's going to jail. His cousin cannot be arrested. He is dead. Unless there's like some police in heaven or something, he's good. He's got no worries except for nothing. You know what I mean? It's over for him. But he just told on this man in this situation. This is still telling. Yeah, I had a homeboy, man, back in the day, and we were in a house, and I watched him do it right in front of me. Right, boom, door gets kicked in, and come the police. Right, police run up in the spot. get everybody, get us all handcuffed, and they catch him with a gun on him. Take him outside. He's standing there. We're all in the living room, and I can hear him. And they're questioning him on where the drugs come from, where the guns come from. He made up a fictional person. Agreed. We could hear him. We're in the living room. He's outside the apartment. He agreed to cooperate with the police. And we heard him. But we also, in hearing him, knew that the person that he was describing to them did not exist. We knew that what he was doing was trying to get himself up out of handcuffs, and that he was never going to call them, never going to cooperate. He was just trying to get away from them in that moment. The cop ended up taking the gun, putting it in their backpack, putting the narcotics he got off of him into a backpack, gave him his card and said, "We're going to be in touch and we expect to hear from you." Now this was a person that did not exist that he just told on. You get me? He's like, "Yo, I'll be dealing with such and such down on such and such street." And we all overheard this. Several of my homeboys cut him off after that.
I'm just being honest. I can dig it. I'm just being honest. Yeah. That's the only time I done never said or gave no information about nobody. Because that's my cousin, my big cousin. He was dead, and he told me that it was okay. So that's the only time. Any other time, I don't even call the police like for accidents. It ain't even no 911 call with my voice on it. If a motherfucker break in my house, I am not calling the police.
I'm calling cap.
I ain't doing it. You break in my car, steal some of my car, I am not calling
I'm calling
the police. Cap. I ain't doing it. Now, if my wife there and she want to call the police, I'm gonna tell her, "Man, do what you gotta do. I'm gonna be over here."
See, he's capping.
Yeah.
If somebody steals my car, they have stolen my automobile, my $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 car. Right, so now I'm just supposed to beat feet, walk around the streets because I need to be a thug and I gotta live by this street code. I can't never call the police. You can just have my Maserati and I'm not gonna report it stolen. And when you get pulled over, it's have a nice day, get your turn signal fixed. This man said he's not doing, if you break in his house, he's not calling the cops. So I can go to T.I.'s house, break in T.I.'s house, steal everything out of it, all his money, all his jewelry, the $20,000 bulldog sitting on the couch, and T.I. is not going to call the cops because he's built like that. He doesn't care about his house getting broken into. He's not going to call the cops. I'm not going to lie to you. If you come to my house and you break in my house and you steal everything I own, I need to get that back. I have homeowners insurance. I have insurance on other things, and I will be well compensated for my stuff. But I cannot do that without breaking this street law, this street code of snitching and calling the police. Let's go, man.
I'm gonna be over here, man. I'm gonna be over here at Starbucks drinking tea. You do what you gotta do. When y'all finish talking, y'all let me know.
Battle can't
everybody
say that.
In this industry, or everybody in this particular battle.
In this particular battle.
Now look, this the one thing I can't do. I can't place no tag on no man that don't belong. Cause
yes,
that
sir.
make me. I'm the then.
Understood.
If I call a nigga a rat and he ain't no, and I ain't got no paperwork and I ain't got no.
Understood.
I ain't that kind of guy.
Yes,
that ain't what I.
Okay. So let's wrap this part up. So now everybody's seen this part where T.I. is now talking about. He's talked about telling on his dead cousin pretty much. Told the police he did it. He has since went on to do his own paperwork party. Boosie cut him all the way off. Everybody knows how Boosie is when it comes to the snitching. Like he's like the face man. He's like the poster boy for do not snitch. You know how Boosie gets riled up over the snitch and stuff. So Boosie, as we were talking about, and T.I. had an album coming out. It's supposed to be, like that. Boosie was very proud of it, spoke highly of it. He seen this episode of Expeditiously with T.I., cut ties with T.I. immediately. They had been friends for a long time, as long as they had both been in the industry. He has gone on to call T.I. a rat. He's called him pretty much everything you can. We're going to go ahead and find a clip real quick of Boosie.
They say he posted the paperwork saying that he did it. So that's the icing on the cake, bro. That's just why I just don't go. I go against that stuff. I'm the realest, bro. I gotta stand on that. I don't care how bad y'all want to hear an album. I gotta stand on that, man. I stand on business. I'm a real street nigga, man. That's something that can't be done. Y'all gotta respect my decision, man. stand for a lot of shit. I stand up for a lot of niggas, bro. Stand up for millions of gangsters worldwide. I'm all they got left, bro. We ain't doing none of that. See how I posted paperwork. Man, I hope he.
I gotta stop real quick, man. Do I think Boosie is a real street dude? 100%. His paperwork backs it up. All the cases he's caught backs it up. But at the same time, my honest opinion, I think a lot of this is for the internet. I think that if you just took all the cameras away, all the fame away, all the public figures and the people watching, I don't think they would make a big deal of it. I really don't. I think Boosie's got a reputation to protect, and that's what he's doing with this, man. It's gotten petty at this point, man. This is T.I did a paperwork party on himself. When has anybody ever done that? You know what I mean? Most guys that get accused of snitching get scared to death. We have seen it time and time again with YouTube, and this man went and dropped his own paperwork, and Boosie's about to react to it. Let's see.
He didn't, bro. Why would he do that? That's the bro. Why would he post his paperwork showing you did it? That's even worse, bro. That dude needs to be quiet. Gangsta Williams got his paperwork. It don't matter, bro. Don't matter who got their paperwork. It's what's on the paperwork that make it a sin to me. Yeah. It could have been my daddy. I done lost loves of my life. I done lost friends who I consider friends. I done lost niggas who were supposed to.
Okay. So Boosie has clearly been affected by snitching in the past. I think we can both agree on that.
Yep.
Been to prison multiple times. Was sitting on death row at one point, for everybody that knows about that case. He just said he's lost friends, relationships, loved ones. Said it could have been his daddy. So we all know why Boosie feels the way he feels. And we've all been there. Anybody that's if you got a felony record, you've been through it. If you haven't, then I don't know what happened with your case. But we've all been in that situation. I don't know if anybody that hasn't, when the cops at some point or another are going to try to press you to tell on somebody else, right or wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know if you tell me that you've been arrested multiple times and the cops have never once told you to, hey, you can tell us about this, or what else do you know, then I'm going to call cap on that and say that you're lying. I've been in those situations. I've been in those rooms where they come in and they lay that folder down and they pull out papers and they pull out pictures, and I know exactly what they're talking about. But never once have I ever even raised an eyebrow that would lead them to believe that I know anything about what they're talking about.
Yep.
Every single time they've ever come in that room, the end result was I went to prison, and everybody else that had anything going on in the streets stayed safe.
Yep.
I stayed loyal to the streets even when the streets weren't loyal to me.
Fact.
The streets forgot about me. You know how it goes. You can be the man. Everybody knows you in your city. Everybody knows you in your town, your county, wherever you're from. Everybody loves you. But the moment you go away, you're forgotten about. You were loyal to all those people. I get where Boosie's coming from. When you sign up for this, real.
Yeah.
We know what comes with it. Life sentences, death. We know. But what's happened is the streets have gotten soft. And that's just the bottom line. This ain't the same world we once lived in.
No.
Guys will snitch now, and people will know they snitch, and they'll still smoke blunts with them. They'll still ride around with them. They'll still kick it with them. I remember coming up, once that was put on you, you had to move. You couldn't stay in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
If you were a teenager, they would flatten your mom and daddy's car tires. You know what I mean? Like, spray paint your house up. Now, it's people they don't care no more. It's like he tattled. Oh well, so what? He's one of the last of a dying breed, man. He's one of the ones that I think he's like he said, he's got to stand on it. He's got to stand on it. Let's finish up with see what else he's got to say.
I wish Chip the best, bro. Like, I wish Chip the best, bro.
So now they're beefing. So it went from T.I doing something on his podcast about snitching, Boosie finding out about it, Boosie responding. Boosie has sent actually several threats now. I'm not even going to play those. To now it's a full-fledged feud, and this all stems behind T.I telling on a dead man. Boosie he's a different type of dude from what we all see. There's not a lot of dudes like Boosie Badass. A lot of dudes that proclaim to be like him, but when looking at a life sentence, there's not a lot of people that are like him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think he thought that him and T.I were a lot alike. And to hear some news like this and to find out that in a way you've been tricked and betrayed, it is enough to upset you. It's enough to make you angry.
Yep.
You know, not only did you it's a bad look for you, this person representing you, but it's also a bad look for the friendship, for media in general. They had a whole album about to drop, a whole entire album. And Boosie said it'll never come out. It'll never come out. But now T.I. is going to clap back at Boosie because now he's in self-defense mode. Now he's saying that the whole him telling his cousin thing was comedy. He said straight out his mouth, that was comedy. Maybe I just don't get his form of comedy because, I mean, usually when somebody's being comedic, I laugh. You know what I mean? At their facial expressions or the way they say things. If you go back and you watch him talking about telling on his cousin, I didn't see anything comedic about it. Moment of truth, of him coming clean. You know what I mean? And said, no, I was being funny, man. That was funny tip. I was, you got T.I. and you got Tip. I was just being funny for the camera. I was snitching on a dead man. How could he come extradite me from wherever I'm at? I was being funny. No, you was telling. You told on yourself, bro. Let's see what he's got to say in response to Boosie.
Bro need to be damn looking around him. You don't need to be looking at me. You need to be looking around him.
2023 has definitely turned out to be the year of paperwork, the year of snitching, and we're just off to the beginning of the year. It's what now, February?
Oh yeah, it's already popping off.
What else happened this year with snitching already? To your recollection, what do you know of?
We have the alleged 1090 stuff. They're saying that could be fake. But
why are they saying it could be fake?
Because they're saying that there's like somebody said there's like 7 discrepancies. You know what I mean? To the paperwork. So it could be, but then listen. So I also saw it on Pino's channel where he had 1090 didn't even know he was on the live. He was talking to that dude on the phone, and he admitted to that stuff.
This was the whole shooting through the window of the house or something, right?
Right.
Something like that. Somebody shot the window and the cops got called.
Correct. And he gave a description. And then there were 2 kids that were apprehended that fit the description. Whether they were charged or not, that could be because of a false description. Never know. He might have just been doing what we were talking about earlier, where he was like, hey, I'm just going to make something up so nobody gets into trouble, and then 2 kids get in trouble later on.
What are the chances of that happening, though? That you give a false description of 2 people, right?
It happened to me.
Not one, but listen, not one person, but 2 people.
Right.
And then they go grab 2 people that match that description. So one of them, you find 2 people that match that description, and one of them has on them what the police expected to find on them.
Right.
What are the coincidences? How is that a coincidence?
I see that. Yeah.
I gave a description of somebody in a shirt like this and a shirt like yours, and I said the one that was dressed like me would have a weapon on him. They find 2 guys that look just like us, and I have a weapon on me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like the odds of that happening.
I definitely think he told.
Now, if you say, all right, it was a white guy in a black shirt, had a gun. Okay, there's a good chance that if you go through my city right now at this time of night, you're gonna find a whole bunch of white guys in black shirts with guns.
Right.
But to get 2 descriptions of 2 different people together with one of them having one.
Yep.
And at first he tried to say that none of this ever happened, right?
Right. And then
he was recorded saying that it did happen.
Yeah. So some part of the paperwork can be fake all it wants to be. There's still a good part of it that isn't.
Even by his own self-admittance.
Right.
Is that snitching?
Yeah.
Somebody shoots the window of your house, and you call the police because they shot your window out. That's snitching?
Definitely. Because that dude he said he's been in the streets for a while. So at this point in time, whether you're 17 or 18, I don't care if you're 15. If you're out running the streets, stealing, doing whatever you're doing, selling drugs, whatever, you are now part of the streets. Now that age limit, that doesn't matter no more. Like he wasn't just some normal citizen. I don't know what he was doing. There was other speculation of different things that could have been taking place at that time. And the reason why, it's something to do with like him allegedly I don't know this for sure. This is some stuff that I've heard that it was during when he got in trouble for allegedly stealing those guns from his auntie.
So at this point in the game, there is no expiration date on snitching. Don't matter if you were 14.
Well,
don't matter if you were 44.
If you're out in the streets, there's stipulations. So if you're not a normal citizen, then you know what I mean. That's definitely frowned upon.
But like we talked about in the beginning, can you ever, after you've been in the street life, can you ever redact that? Can you say, "Hey, I'm a normal citizen now"? Do you ever get that pass back of being able to be normal? Do I ever, after doing a decade in prison, get to say, "Hey, I'm Jay Williams, just a normal guy"? And now I get to call cops on people, and it's not snitching; it's doing my due diligence.
Nah, you don't know.
You're right. I know better. But that's what
you commit yourself to a certain lifestyle. It does follow you. It's those consequences that have been talked about before. These things that you do, they follow you in different ways, not just by how people portray Azruction or Jay Williams or whatever because of our YouTube.
Right.
And what they see, you know what I mean. So I don't know, man.
I get it. And what I've seen recently, man, in the past few years is that when guys they'll be like super gangster, animal thug, right? Until the moment that they get called out on it.
Right.
And in the moment that they get called out on their bit, they went from being animal thug to Adam.
Right.
You know what I mean? like I'm not animal thug, I'm Adam. I know you was animal thug yesterday, you know what I mean?
Hey, that's true, man.
It's like now I'm this person, so it's okay. It's not okay, man. It's not. You know why I say it's not okay? Because I've been told on. I've been in the courtroom. I had a co-defendant one time on a robbery case, right? And they kept us separated. It's crazy because I made bond, right? We had a very, very high bond, and I kept going for these bond hearings, to get my bond lower and lower and lower and lower. I didn't have nobody to put up a whole house. And even if I did, they're not putting their house up for me because they know I'm going to run.
Yes.
You better not put your house up. You know what I mean? I'm going to be on the run. Yeah, I'm going to be on the run, and you're going to be homeless. You better not.
Yeah.
So I make bond, and me and this dude are in jail the whole time together, right? A long time ago. I skip court, and I get picked up, and they take me back to the jail. And I'm trying to get back into the same pod where my co-defendant is, my homeboy is, right? Yep. I don't know if you know what a keep away list is or keep separate. When I come in jail, I say, "Hey, put me in 5C." You know, I had a rapport with them. They knew me. I'm a regular at the jail, like kind of like a bar. You know what I mean?
They leave the light on for you.
They know me, right? I'm like, "Hey, put me back in 5C." I got out on bond. It was like within a week or two. I think it was like 7 or 8 days later. I was locked back up. Right? They tell me I'm on a keep away list. I'm like, "Nah, y'all got it. With who?" Like, I got enemies in there. So I don't see my homeboy the whole time, right? We go to trial. Now, you know, when everybody in jail goes to, if you got court the same day, we'll ride in the same paddy wagon. Or we'll ride on the same bus if we're going to court. They put me in the back of a cop car. And I see them loading the other guys into the paddy wagon. Why am I being kept separate? And then I see my co-defendant come out and get in the paddy wagon. They're taking us to court in 2 separate vehicles. It's still, in a sense, I'm in denial of what's taking place. Yeah. In my heart, I don't want to believe what's happening is happening. Yep. I've seen it before. I'm a street dude. I know what's going on, but I don't want to accept it.
Right.
We get to the courthouse. They take me out the cop car, and they put me in a single-man holding cell. And then they take him, and all the other guys are going to court that day, and they put them in the little bullpen. And I'm yelling down to him, "Hey, what's up, man? What they told me? What's the law you talking about?" He's not responding to me. He's not saying nothing. We go in the courtroom. I stand on one side with my lawyer. He comes in, stands beside the prosecutor. I look over at him. He looks at me, and he just puts his head down. So I get I have my own personal reasons on why it is the way it is. I've had homeboys that were my homeboys my whole entire life, and in an instant something they did made me cut them off, and it made me angry, and it hurt me because you go through things with these guys, you grow with these guys, you go through war, you bleed with them, not war in the sense of like the military, but we go through wars in the streets at times that hurt. You know what I mean? And you got to cut them off. You got to walk away. I would end up, the crazy thing is, I would end up getting sentenced, and the judge asked him, have you been promised anything in return for your testimony today? And he said, yes, Your Honor, I've been promised a reduced sentence.
Dang.
We finished up court. They put him in the single man holding cell and put me in the bullpen with everybody else. And that would be the last time I seen him. Crazy.
Oh, that's crazy. That's how I went. I went to prison from being told on, but not with a co-defendant. It was a victim. When I punched that dude in the mouth and knocked his 2 teeth out, and he pressed charges on me, testified on me, and everything.
You know, my co-defendant, man, when we on the actual case that sent me off to prison, on the day of trial, and this will tell you how solid this dude is. On the day of trial, I knew we were hit. People that put us, the victim of the robbery had picked us out of the lineup and had told them, yeah, that's them. Somebody out in the neighborhood at night had ID'd us as being in the neighborhood, so that puts us at the scene of the crime.
Right.
We were sitting in a holding cell underneath the courthouse getting ready to go to trial, and I knew we were done for.
Yeah.
And I'm still rumbling. I'm not taking no plea. You know what I mean? I'm not saying guilty, give me a reduced sentence. No. I'm saying not guilty to the end. Because in order for me to take a plea, I have to give a statement.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Anybody that's ever taken a plea bargain, you have to agree to the fact that you committed your crime.
Yes.
Now, if you've got a co-defendant you took a plea bargain, what does that tell you? You cannot take the plea bargain without implicating you and him in both and what's going on.
Exactly. Yep.
If you look at my case, it says plea, not guilty, which means I didn't give no statement. You know, I offered to him, I told him, I said, we're going to lose today, man. We're going to lose. I said, and I would prefer one of us be there for the kids. Here's what's going to happen, dog. I'm going to go in the courtroom, and I'm going to tell them I did this shit. And that you would never know where around, and that you just caught up in my madness, just take care of my son. You're going to go home today, and I'm going to go off to prison, man. I love you. And you know what he said? We did this shit together. We'll go to prison together. I can't let you do that, dog.
That's what's up.
Stand up, dude.
That's solid right there.
I went down.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly, I told him, I said, I will go in there and I will take the blame, man. I'll tell the people, I robbed the dude. You was nowhere around. Just look after my son while I'm in prison. He said, nah. He said, we did this shit together. We're going down together, dog. It ain't going down like that.
Yep. That's solid right there.
And then, I got to respect it. I did 10 on that. He did 6. I got out, got my life together. He caught a possession with intent to distribute heroin and got 9 years.
Dang. That's
crazy thing is, back to the snitching thing, the guy that told on him in that case ended up being an employee of mine. I never knew it.
Oh, what?
Yes, listen, I didn't know this. I'm talking to my brother on the phone. He's like my brother, but I'm talking to him one day and I'm like, yeah, I hired this new guy, right? Me and him weren't talking when he caught his dope case. I'm like, I hired this new guy. He's working out good. He's like, what's his name? I'm like, Ben. He's like, oh, yeah, he got it. Told on me his name. I said, yeah. So this guy ain't never mentioned you before. What do you mean? He's like, what's his last name? So I told him his last name. He's like, that's the guy that told on me. So now I've got to stay professional, right? Because I run a company. Like, you can be a snitch and Walmart's not going to fire you. Walmart don't care if you snitch. Kentucky Fried Chicken don't care if you snitch. Like, I have to stay in character, so I can't just go and be like, as a boss, you're a snitch, you snitched on my homeboy on some street. I'm a business owner.
Right.
But secretly now, I'm looking for a way to fire this guy. Like, I've got to get you away from me. I've got to fire you. But for some shit that's not even work-related. You're a great worker. You're great at what you do. But you snitched on somebody I know. And I've hired you without knowing that you were a snitch. I had to fire the guy. But he made it easy. He started smoking meth. He disassembled his dash in my driveway. So, he kind of did. Yeah. Swear to God. Dude started getting high. I woke up to the sound of power drills. Came outside at 5 o'clock in the morning. He had took the dash all the way out of his car.
Oh, hell no.
In the middle of winter. In February. He's out there with no shirt on. Snow was coming down sideways. And I said, what are you doing? He looked at me with a DeWalt drill in his hand. It was like, good morning. It wasn't even daylight yet. And this dude is in my driveway taking the dash out of his car. That was kind of my introduction to what crystal meth does to people.
Oh, man. Hey, in prison, they the reason why they put one of the red lights on is because a lot of woods in particular, they would COs would walk by and whole entire toilets and sinks are taken apart. And
Wow.
they're looking like them little squirrels with them eyes, looking at them like when they get caught up, you know. It was causing some problems.
See, I didn't deal with that. I didn't run across that in the system. Like this whole meth thing started like I seen it when I got out. I'd heard about it. You know, back in the day it was called crank.
Yep.
It wasn't called meth. It was called crank. Like I seen it. I seen guys that sold it. I've seen it pink. I've seen it kind of blue, but it was more like a powder form. It wasn't like you see it now.
That blue Smurf.
I get out of prison. I come home and everybody's like kind of transitioned. When I left, everybody was smoking blunts and popping Xanax. I come home, everybody's either smoking meth or they're on fent. A lot changed in 10 years.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, chicks that were attractive when I left, I come home and they now got big. They look like somebody's been putting cigarettes out in their face.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Homeboys of mine that are the same age as me, look twice as old as me, and are standing on the corner with beards down to here, 110 pounds, begging for money.
Right.
Like it was a different world to come out to, man.
I'll bet.
Ah.
Yeah, that's way different. See, but out you guys, the East Coast doesn't, you know, amphetamine wasn't a big thing.
It wasn't
over there. See, on the West Coast, it's been around since the 90s, late 80s. You know what I mean? Like it is to find out, especially like in Arizona, to find out, oh, that person does that. You're not surprised. It's not like, oh,
well, that's how it is here now.
Yeah, well, that's how it's always been. Where I'm at, you know what I mean? So it's wild.
I remember
that you guys didn't have that.
My wife's family's all from New Mexico, right? Los Lunas, Los Cruces. So we go out there, you know, yearly or whatever, and we go to the casinos, and you've got like the gangs and the casinos.
Oh yeah. Targeting,
you know, primarily white dudes or people that look like they got money, and they're just like posted up. The essays are in there posted up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm standing there playing the slots, and dude walks up beside me. He's like, "Hey, yo." I look over at him, and just you can tell he's been in prison. His face is plastered. It's ink all on the side of his head. You know what I mean? Like, he's got one of those crazy prison names, I'm sure. And he's like, "What's up, man?" And I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "You fuck with Tina?" And I'm like, I'm green as I don't know what he's talking about. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I think and this is exactly what I said. I said, I think you got me mixed up with somebody else, man. I don't know Tina. He's like, "You don't know Tina?" I said, "No, I don't know Tina." He's like, all right. He kind of looks at me like, "The fuck?" You know what I mean? I know now what he was talking about. So another dude comes up and is like, I seen him talking. And I'm like, what did he do? Is plotting on me or something? Like, I'm like, slump homie in this club. What's up, man? And I've never been to like the casinos out there. They're all ran by Indian. They're like Indian casinos in New Mexico. When dude comes up again, he sends his homeboy over and he's like, "Hey, man, you with the crystal?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, he pulls out, boom, like you used to with like a dime bag or a nick bag or some weed. He pulls out, boom, right there. You know, big chunks, man. What's up? You fuck with the crystal? And I'm like, "Oh man, y'all are tripping out here in New Mexico." Man. You know what I mean?
Hey, New Mexico's wild. They're wild, man.
My wife was, when she first moved here, she had a Pathfinder with New Mexico plates. She stayed getting pulled over. They would see them New Mexico plates and they would light her up. They'd throw the cherries on and have her out and tearing the truck apart. And now I see why. Like New Mexico, I'm not sure if it still is, but at one point New Mexico was like the meth capital of the United States.
Yeah, it's always been bad over there.
Yeah, I want no parts of it.
It's crazy.
I want no parts of it. I see people like dancing to music that's not there. And doing like weird shit, and to me it's sad. I don't, a lot of people find that shit comical and they make reels on it. That's sad to me. When I see somebody at that point in their life that is normal to them, but everybody else is laughing at them, and people are making TikToks to them, people are putting them on YouTube shorts, and that person has hit rock bottom.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And I've seen that. You know what I mean. I've been in those positions and stuff like that. You know what I mean. And that's why I've never made. Hey, I'm coming from Arizona, man. I could have made content for days, on the zombies walking around, but I don't, because I don't know, man. It's like
could have been you
when that and when that person gets sober, and now they got a video of them viral when they're at their lowest point.
Right.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I've had many. I've seen, they do like, you see the TikToks where it's got like the music in the background, and you know what I mean? And it's got like the person stumbling. I've seen that same situation 1,000 times. Yeah. And never once did it cross my mind to pull out my phone and start recording that person.
Right.
If I wanted to show my wife, like, look at this crazy stuff I seen today. That's one thing. But to then take it and upload it to the internet, is like, come on, man. That's a little too much, man.
Yeah. I couldn't do that, man. Right.
And I've had these talks because I do believe in trying to help guys before I go to the extent of firing them. Okay, I don't want to just fire you, because then you are past rock bottom. Now you have nothing. I'll try to help you before I fire you.
Right.
And guys will tell me, they'll be like, man, it was so easy to get hooked on, because for $50 I could get so much.
So much. You can get in Arizona, you can get a gram for like $10.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
In Colorado, you can have up to 3.5 grams, and it's only a ticket. They don't even arrest you. In Arizona, you have a little tiny piece. You're catching a felony charge.
They'll send you to prison for it?
So, yeah, especially, if you already have another charge. Like, if you've been in trouble before, yeah, definitely. You're probably going to get on drug court, or they're going to put you in prison. Or give you a lot of jail time.
Thinking about it now, man, I think I know a whole lot of snitches that I just now realized about. I know people out here that have got 7, some people that have got 8 possession charges and have still not been to prison. No.
Yeah, definitely.
Have not been to prison. I'm talking about 8 solid convictions, Schedule 1, Schedule 2.
Yeah.
And have not yet taken a prison trip. Is it possible to catch 7 and not go to prison? I feel like I'm going if I get 1. You know what I mean? Like definitely. 2, I'm definitely going. But to have 6, 7, and never go to prison?
Right.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
No.
They're 100% telling. To the people that I know y'all know who y'all are. Come on now, stop it. Matter of fact, don't even speak to me anymore. Just keep it moving, man.
I've literally had dudes that I dealt with in the street where they'd be like, oh yeah, we can go to my homie, man. Yeah, he's been over here for like 12, 13 years, same spot.
Oh.
I'm like, what? Selling that? Selling
for 13 years?
Yeah, and I'm like,
oh no, he's working with somebody.
Bro.
Working with somebody,
man.
You're not gonna make it 5 years.
Especially in Arizona, Arpaio had the give 3, walk free. Give up 3 people, you walk free. People were trying to tell all the time.
Oh wow! I hear they say, why do 10, give 5 to a friend?
Oh wow!
Crazy. Why do 10, give 5 to a friend? What? No. Wow. No, even though AZ, to be honest, man, I don't live by these street codes no more.
Right.
I do agree with everything we've talked about. Would I call the police if my car gets stolen? Yes. Am I calling the police if my house gets broken into? Yes. Am I ever going to tell on somebody to bail myself out of a bad situation? No.
No.
But I'm also not going to put myself in a situation, period.
Correct.
I'll handle my business if you run up on me. But at that point there, I'm still not in a situation because you ran up on me.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
At the end of the day, am I a civilian? I consider myself a civilian, but I still have my morals. Right. My morals are different than a civilian's morals. Yeah. We don't have the same morals that civilians have. You know that, and I know that. Doesn't mean we're good people, or doesn't mean we're bad people. Doesn't mean we're any less of a good person than that person. It just means we were raised different, or we just kind of we moved to the beat of a different drum. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Like if the old lady down the street calls the cops on me, I'm not going to go telling everybody she's a snitch.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, because she's not in the game.
No, she's not.
But I can't call the cops on her.
Right. Definitely not. And that's just me. I'm just strict like that. I'm real weird like that. I just don't. I don't know.
Well, I think we've gotten into and wrapped up. We did a good job on covering the whole snitching thing and what needs to be done. The T.I, the Boosie thing. So as far as snitching goes, you've said it. When you live by the gun, you die by the gun. Yep. Once you're in, you're in. But you never can. You can't never ever backpedal and go from being Animal Thug to Adam again.
Nope, it's not happening. You left Adam there a long time ago. Adam who? Never heard of him.
Animal thug.
Yeah, man.
I will be signing out for tonight, man. I appreciate y'all coming through, checking us out on Let's Live Life. Y'all know who I am. I'm Jay Williams, and this is
Azruction. Hey, make sure you go check out and get the new merch. Make YouTube great again. Hit me up on the Instagram. All of them new era. Let's go. Hey, salute to you, Jay. I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, salute to you. Salute to everybody watching. Y'all have a great night, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Let's go.